So I have studied and made a best guide for each secret style in Volleyball Legends. So now I have invited the #1 Volleyball Legends player alongside with the one of the best time skip Hinata players. We will rate each secret style together to know which one of them is the best spiker category in this list. Let's get into it. Okay, for our first style will be Jinko. What do you guys think for Jinko?
I think if you have a good setter, then probably it will be good. And also if you know how to use advanced and partials, it will be definitely around A to B tier.
But on his first release, what rating is he?
Oh, definitely a S.
How about you, Wilson, Seishun? What tier?
Jinko A
A.
A 发球很多样嘛，然后可以打后排，加 set 很高的话可以打后排，然后又可以前排也可以突然打出去 V。
Now it's time for me to explain it. On the first release, Jinko was the most unstable style I have ever seen. So basically, you can trigger that boomerang surfing whenever you delay too much. It was crazy if they keep it like that, but when it got released, it became a bit stable and more easier to use. Originally, Jinko was trickiest but most rewarding style that you can use, and the fact that there are like a 0 power set for spiking where you can curve it beside the net, it was so good. And if you mix it with redirectional, you will become more unpredictable. You can like control it whenever you want. You can put it on the back row easily than most of the style, which is just linear. And with those partials, I would put him on A as well, like Lime said. So for the final tier,
Yeah, A.
A or S.
Jinko is A tier. Now we're going for the Kazana. Kazana is the most hyped style ever released in Volleyball Legends because it represents the little giant on the modern Haikyuu, if you know, on the actual anime, and he jumps really high. And actually on the release, he was so awful. You charge so slow, the jumping is so slow, the transition is so slow, and it's so hard to play as a new player and experienced player. I don't know for the pro player, but what I can see for Kazana is that you can do a massive delay with Kazana, and you can easily go for the back row when you jump really high. The concept of this is so slow and it's so easy to predict and it's hard to control. So, Lime, what do you think about Kazana?
Okay, so for Kazana, I think he's a decent spiker. At least he can either use his default for most sets, and for twos, Kazana isn't really great. He's easily predictable, and maybe for threes is good since he can be a good decoy. He can either spike or decoy whenever you do a high set, or you can delay it, which is good since it will throw off the enemy. And if you pair this with Jinko, like if you face to your on court while doing the net glitch, Kazana can spike it, which is a broken tech. Probably in terms of threes, it'll be good like around A, but for twos, it'll be around B or C.
But overall, what is his rating for you?
I guess B is in between.
这个可以从高处进攻的，可以打后排，所以 set 只要跟 set 配合好，可以打后面。打前排的话，很容易被 block， 所以就会失去他原本技能实用性。所以我觉得，因为这游戏可以用反身 block 投球，很容易把球投过来，所以我觉得很普通啊。所以可能给到 B.
Like I said, in my own experience, the usability for this Kazana is a C tier. For the effectiveness, efficiency is a B tier. As a Kazana alone, kinda mid. But before, it's much awful. It's like C or D. For me, Kazana is a B tier for me. So for the final, Kazana will be on B tier. And now here, one of the oldest style. The one and only Libero. Alright, let me explain how Kimiro works. Kimiro is basically Libero. It's like Nishinoya in a steroids. So you can dash really far across the net. The famous tag of Kimiro is the S-Snake. Basically, if you have received it, you can dash whenever you want and jump at the same time. And that's where you make your spiking deadly. Kimiro is deadly when it's close to net. And when far from net, it's one of the weakest spiker. He has a good serving stats as well. I'm not gonna rate it yet, but let's know what Lime does think with Kimiro.
For Kimiro, if you use him to the max potential, he's easy S tier since he can cover basically the whole court. And for the charging, most of the time you don't really need to be full charge unless you're very far off opposite where the ball is, then probably you need to charge it. For him, he's a great all-rounder since his stats is like one of the best in the game. His max bump can be easily used as a bump set for spikers, and his set is also max, which is also one of the best in the game.
OK，我觉得很普通，怎么讲？接球玩到后面的人基本都会接，所以他的扑球技能就没有那么有用。但如果遇到Oikawa，那就非常有用，因为球可能队友很远来不及救，可以救，但是这样会少一次进攻的机会，这样一定接起来一定要打。所以我觉得他可以使用蛇跳，蛇跳还不错，Snake Jump，打一个出其不意，而且数值杀球还不错，发球啊，但其他就还好。C。
Let me just clarify. This rating is for spiker only. What rating, Lime?
Or if it's for spiker, then probably D.
Wilson?
C.
For me, C tier. Now we're going for Mikage. Mikage, the Ghost original character. Iron Wall of Volleyball Legends. The first ever style that has a rainbow blocking. Mechanics is all about, so whenever he got the max charge, he will get that ghost blocking. That ghost blocking is the almost double speed of the original blocking of Mikage. When in terms of spiking, Mikage is so good at spiking as well. Like, you can surprise them. I feel like Mikage perfect. What do you think about Mikage, Lime?
Okay, for Mikage, he has a really good spiking stat, and his block stat is also what makes him also a good spiker, because when you spike, it goes like mid-court, which most players will receive at. But if you block down, it will be near the net, which is like you need to have a good prediction or reading to actually receive it, especially if he has a ghost blocking. Either you have to just jump set in front of him, or you get a Kimiro to dive it. So that makes him like one of the good spikers in the game. So final rating will be A.
发球很好，攻击也好，防守更好。这会玩的基本什么模式3v3那种人多的4v4、6v6那种，只要有这支哦，都很好打。只是你要会玩，这支比较好上手，只要会挡就好了。只要跟好对面的球，什么时候打跟着防守就好了。在 high pin 的时候，高 pin 那个很有用，基本上那个蓝的就接不到，然后鬼手也可以挡比较高的，像那个星海一样，可以挡住那种跳很高的，除非遇到Jinko，不然这支基本上都无敌。S.
Oh, that's very surprising. That's our first S. Okay, now for me, in terms of spiking, you can make yourself out unpredictable. In general, most people will think SU will be a blocker, an actual like backup spiker. He feels like a max stats, by the way. As a spiker, pair it with any ability if you want to enhance the spiking capability of Mikage. I think he has a well-balanced power for the spiking. I would make him A tier. He's better than Kazana, is easier to play. So when it terms of usability, it's fairly easy. It's like good for beginners. A tier for usability. Efficiency, it's A tier as well. It's perfect for any timing, like either super delay or pass. Mikage is well for that. It's like for a Diamond Pro level if you want to receive well with Mikage. Surprisingly, Mikage surpassed Jinko because we just did all A for Jinko, but Mikage got like 2A and 1S. So now, oh my god, here we go. The man of spiking, Sanu. Let me explain Sanu. In a nutshell, Sanu has a rainbow tilting. Basically, his tilting makes him so unpredictable, especially when you are in the middle part of the... So you can massively tilt left or right than any spiker. Spiker can only tilt up and down.
So obviously it's going to the S tier regardless. And so the reason is his tilt is what makes him one of the best spikers in the game. Since when you tilt, it goes to the a different angle of spiking. So if you spike directly at the spiker, you can just tilt, it will just go away from them. If you're like from far away lah, but if you're super close, then it'll be a bit harder unless you flick and spike. For the setters, it depends how the Sanu wants it. If the Sanu wants it like super close to the net, he can massively delay and have a lot of variety of spiking, either cut or low power spike straight down or corner or back row. Yeah, that's what makes him one of the best.
How about you, Wilson?
这支 从这游戏刚出。第一支隐藏嘛，必须这个很强。主要它那个弯曲程度可以打比较多角度，也可以打后排。在前排的时候，可能那个因为我主要都是打延时，就是 delay，所以 set 很好，这个攻击也好，发球就比较软一点，比较力量比较小。主要缺点就是速度走太慢，那个速度太慢啊。可是主要进攻的话很好，基本上这游戏的 T0级别，所以我觉得应该给到 S。
Oh,
Okay.
you hear that, guys? S tier. Okay, I agree with that. So the final insight from your spiking, you can easily get punished if they spike to you on the back row. For example, you do spiking in the front row, then they receive it. But if they are so fast while you're transitioning, they can just punish you by spiking on the back row, which you cannot receive it. So you will be forced to jump to receive it, or you might miss it. They can delay it whenever they want. For the rating, I would give Sanu a S tier for spiking. For the final rating, no objection. He is easily S tier, the man of spiker. And now Taicho. Why are we rating Taicho setter? Let's still explain Taicho. Taicho is a setter type. So basically when you set, he does a power bop on it. Whoever spike Taicho set has a amplified. If you're not a spiker, you become a spiker because of Taicho. He doesn't have a good spiking capability. That's all, I guess.
Okay, I think he's a decent spiker at the very least, since his stats for spiking is just above average only. So if you want to spike, you can also do some good cuts, and if you're like hitting the ball when it's close to net while having 0 power advanced spike, you can actually hit back row while it's slow, throwing off the enemy's rack receiving.
Yeah.
那球这是一种二传手啊，这支我觉得怎么讲，蛮强的。主要是它传球速度很快，而且它的特殊技能就是可以让球速增加，所以你如果配合的是打怒或是 Hinata， 那个速度会特别快。刚好萨努的那个球速度也不够快，配上太球的话还蛮强的，所以只是如果这种东西打原地就不适合，要打左右 set 的那种比较厉害，而且默契比较好的话，那个可玩度很高。所以这支因为我不常玩 set， 我都玩 spike， 所以我应该给 B 吧。
Okay, so we have here from the man himself, B tier. So we had Lime, what rating?
B.
Wilson, B as well. Okay, for me, let me evaluate finally. So in terms of usability, he is fairly easy in terms of spiking to use. I think most of the spike of Taicho will be more of a bait. You're gonna pick your set, but you spike instead. In the front row, he's perfect to spike, especially when you bait. But on the back row, it's not. It's easy to react. So for me, Taicho spiking comparing against Kimiro. But overall, we got B since BB and C. He is a behind Kazana of Taicho. Ooh, we got your favorite one here. The style that you have been using most of the time. So first, let me explain that, how it works. So basically, time skip Hinata works with a power spiking. So he has the only stats that has a power scale for the spiker. So basically, you can see that his spiking stats move around. So when you hit that purple power, at least you will get a power spike, which is the most powerful spike you can ever have, rather than Sanu, Jinko. So basically, it's the most powerful spike if you have used it properly. Lime, what do you think about time skip Hinata? I know you love this.
Okay, for time skip Hinata, his jump is max, his speed is fast, his spike is overpowered, so it'll be super hard to react because his spike is the fastest in the game. So most enemies would either can't receive it due to ping or can't even react in time. So it's a win-win situation.
That's Hinata， 这只是这游戏第二只的隐藏甲，这只我自己也是玩很久，它的属性比较全能，到现在放在现在的还是可以当 T0角。我自己是几乎每一场都是使用日向，就是 Taicho Hinata。这只如果搭配。这只不需要太好的 set， 只要能 set 原地的话，就 delay， 基本上每一只都可以跟它搭配。 我自己跟朋友是3只 Taicho Hinata，这样速度够快，然后 set 也不会太容易到对面，比较稳定啊。如果要搭配太球的话，那会不一样，那个速度会比较快啊。就是如果要 set 左右要比较默契比较好，set 原地的话就都没有差啊。就是发球方面不容易出界，跟其他 TSK 比，还有 TSO 比的话是比较好用的。因为这只也是进攻手就是如果要跟萨努比的话，2只应该是 Hinata 比较好啊，我应该会给 Double S。
Whoa, double S. Damn. Alright. For me, Timeskip Hinata, when it comes to usability, I would say Timeskip Hinata has the best usability because it gives you an opportunity. Either you risk it, what's it called, max power scaling. Well, challenge for this is it's too hard for a new player, even me, to hit the spike if you got way too focused on trying to get the max power scale for the Timeskip Hinata. That's why it's high risk, high reward type of Timeskip Hinata, which makes him the best easy S tier for me for the usability. For the efficiency, all of the stats of Timeskip Hinata, it solves the problem of Sanu for having a low speed. So basically, you don't have any problem anymore on positioning yourself, especially when you just spike and going back to your own position just to receive. Timeskip Hinata is so flexible. So efficiency, easy S tier for me. So overall, S tier, better than Sanu, then itself, top S. So we all agree that it's better than Sanu. Yes or no?
Yes.
Wilson, yes or no?
Yeah.
There's a debate for Timeskip Hinata. They're debating that which one is the best setter. For the number 1 player and the one of the best Timeskip Hinata player, which is the best setter type for you? Taicho or Timeskip Kageyama?
Taicho.
Now we move it easy S tier for Timeskip Hinata. And now we have here Timeskip Camo. Oh, it's not a spiker type, but everyone has their spiking capability, that's why he's here. But let's not talk too much for Timeskip Kageyama. So let me explain to you. You just have a ability to stop the ball mid-air when you set, so you can control the length of the ball. So the more power, the further it is. The lower the power, the shorter it is. That's all for Timeskip Kageyama. He has only mid spiking, so basically you can only do dumping. Alright.
For TSK, his jump isn't really max, so it's a bit hard to hit it in, especially since he has low spike power. So I wouldn't think it's a good spiking style. But I mean, if it's for dumps, then I guess it will be good since it can throw off the enemy, like to fake them. So I think he will be C tier.
C tier. How about you, Wilson? Very low.
是因为现在 set 角比较多嘛，有太秋、Kageyama这几只要比较的话，我觉得我个人是比较倾向于太秋因为它可以加球速，然后 set 速度也不会很慢，可以很快的传到进攻手的手上。Kageyama 的话其实也不差，只是他的球比较好打。因为我自己是有使用 block 可以勾别人的球过来，我先挡在那里的话，这样很好守。但是这 set 力量也很大，很容易 set 到对面发球力量我也觉得太多了，不需要满，很容易发球出界。如果是打直线的话，斜角比较不容易就是扑球远，这个唯一的好处只是缺点比较多跟太球比的话，太球是比较好，所以这支我应该给 B
tier. For me, when it comes to usability for Timeskip Kageyama, I mean, he's the easiest one to set with. But we're talking about the spiker for this one. The usability for this spiker is nearly useless for back row. But when it comes to very close to net, where dumping comes, Timeskip Kageyama is really exceptionally really good for dumping. It's for efficiency, just mid for spiking, but S tier for usability. I'm gonna give him a B tier since it's only good for dumping, but for the usability, I'm gonna give him C tier for that. Overall, better than Kimiro itself. I'm gonna say it's between high C or low B. We are now here on my main secret style, the twins, my goal. So, a style that allows you to switch between spiker main or setter main. If you have the setter main, you will be able to do a floating serve, which is kinda brain dead and super annoying to deal with. Spiker type, you're very slow, but you can block and spike at the same time. It's really good overall. So Lime, what do you think about twins?
Talk about his Okuro style, since it has a really high spike stat and high jump stat, but the thing is that he's slow, so it's going to be a bit challenging to actually run to the spike or like do glide sets or any variation. So, but if we're talking based on the spiker itself, then I guess it will be good, but it will be hard to hit back row since the spike is really strong. So I will give it a S tier, I guess.
Wilson?
这个就是有两种心态哦。这支发球最大的优点就是发球可以后场前场，也可以从外面。然后这支如果要拿来当进攻的话，比较不推荐，但它救球的话比较好啊。在打进攻也可以打出其不意，因为有两种形态，一种是 set， 一种是 spike。只发球没话说嘛，然后我应该会给他 S。
Ooh, S tier. Oh, I'm hearing it. Anyways, let me evaluate for in terms of usability, Twins is the most flexible. Even though you have that slow speed as a Twins, remember you can switch with Twins. You can use your setter speed to utilize your spiking positioning. So basically, you do, if you're trying to position yourself in an open spot as a spiker, you do as a setter most of the time, then switch immediately to spiker whenever you want to spike. And it's so good, like usability is so flexible, just like time skip Hinata. It's not as time skip Hinata like high risk, high reward. It's like fairly okay as long as you can do switching properly. But on the first hand, as a beginner, because I have a friend that used Twins for a long time, but he still doesn't know how to use the switching for Twins, which is kinda explain why Twins is quite hard to use when it comes to utilizing both setter type and spiker type. So I would say Twins is a easy S tier. It's better than Mikage and Kazana, but I'm arguably gonna say that it's a tie for Jinko and Twins. For the efficiency, it's very good. For the ability like the magnetic, you can utilize the setting or spiking for it. Curve spike, I don't think you don't need curve spike. S tier for me. I think we cannot argue that this is easy S. So final decision, Lime, Wilson.
S.
S.
What position of S tier? Lower?
Yes.
Easy S tier. Now we are here for another setter type. Oikawa. The cheat code for every high ping. So Timeskip Oikawa has this rainbow serving stats just like the Twins, but the difference is you have extra length for your scaling in power for serving, so you can have a rainbow serve. So if you do rainbow serve, whoever receive that serve will get knocked up and that ball will glide randomly either front or back. If you get received badly, it will glide back, which is easy chance for your team. So it's kind of low-key good to get score against your team. But in terms of spiking, it's like Kageyama. Same stats. So Lime, what do you think about time skip?
For his spike, he has a okay spike stat. It's higher than average, so he can neutral tilt in front of the net without it going out. And for his stats, he can run fast enough and also jump high enough to spike. So that makes him a good spiker if you're running like 2v2s. So like he can be a setter, a spiker, or just a receiver, I guess. So I think he will be a good B.
B tier. How about you, Wilson?
OK， 这支发球的话，这支它有一个特殊的彩色，这个彩色的可以打出让别人跌倒的这个在高拼的话，这一支几乎是无敌了，只是这支的 set 力量太大，如果小一点的话，这支会比较完美这支速度也很快，扑球也不错如果要打 spike 的话，比较不适合。如果 set 的话，这支跟金色那一支欧一搞应该也是差不多，所以我觉得这支我只会拿来在高拼的情况下使用这支在 high 拼的话，我会给 S top 如果没有的话，就是普通的 A。
A?
Yeah, A.
The usability of Timeskip Oikawa is fairly good because you can transition well because of your speed. His speed is good as like Taicho and Kageyama, and you can dump really well with Timeskip Oikawa. But the problem is, like Lime said earlier, it's guaranteed it's gonna hit from the back row if you S tilt in any, because the jumping of Oikawa is perfect enough to not go beyond the back row when you are in the front row or back row. Objectively, it is B tier, higher than Kageyama, but for the efficiency, almost the same as Taicho and Kageyama, B tier as well. Easy B tier in terms of spiking. Final decision, Lime, Wilson?
Being B tier.
A.
You guys all agree that it's not better than Kazana, right?
Yeah.
Lastly, Yogan. Okay, basically, Yogan style is the style that has a very low stats, but when you get the rage, you get all max to all stats, but you need to have at least 4 charging to max out your rage. So for the Yogan, you can only charge when you receive on the ground, and you can also charge it, serve, and score a points. So that's the only way, but it takes too much charging. That's why it's almost useless. It's like you're using a legendary stats until you get rage, and that rage can be only used for 2 to 3 rounds. So bad, honestly. But yeah, what do you think about Yogan?
Okay, so his base stats is very bad and mid. So his spike is green. So I mean, I wouldn't say it's that good, but it's around mid level. So it will be very bad to spike since it's receivable and very slow. But if he's on his rage mode, then I guess there will be a very subtle change for his spiking. But if I'm not being biased, I guess I'll put him in between Taicho and TSK.
How about you, Wilson?
就是最新的秘密角嘛，这只我是觉得不配当秘密角。它虽然数值看起来非常夸张，但其实打起来并不怎么样。它独有的技能也很普通，就很像你用着绿色级别的那个跑步加速。那我觉得这只难得出现比 Kimiro 还糟糕的角色，就如果在这么后面的更新后还出了秘密角还可以这么烂，所以我觉得这只可是我应该会给 D， 因为它有结算动画。如果 MVP 的话 ，OK。
Alright, I have heard that. Okay, I'm gonna speak on objective matter. When it comes to usability, Yogan is almost useless. You can only use his rage in a short matter. Takes so much time to charge. So, I would give him D tier. But when it comes to efficiency, let's say the rage mode, but you can still barely use it. It becomes super good when it comes to spiking and blocking, and it's super fast as well. It's like you are time skip. Let's say you're Kimiro and time skip. No. You're like Kimiro and twins at the same time, but you're faster. Now you cannot tilt. That's kind of sad. But the fact that you can only use it 6 times for spiking, so that means if you don't receive that much, which is kind of almost impossible because people will target you if you're on rage mode. Let's say you can only spike 3 to 4 on average. I think his efficiency is C tier. So both double C and 1B. What's the final decision, Lime?
B.
Behind Kimiro or above Kimiro?
Above Kimiro.
Above Kimiro, alright. Any objection, Lime?
I guess Jinko could be changed.
Why do you want Jinko lower or higher?
Higher.
Explain why.
Yeah.
For Jinko, normally most spikers would try to counter spike, but with Jinko, he can delay it very long until it's at net height and spike with S tilt. Then the spikers, if they try to counter spike, it will be either too low or it will just get flunked. So the only choice the spiker has to do is just either set block or block. And for if they don't do any of those, the spike will go all the way to backcourt in almost an instant, which is why he is a very good spiker. I think it will be above twins.
How about you, Wilson?
A.
Higher than
Yeah.
Mikage? Okay, for me, for the pro diamond player, yeah, most of them loves to counter spike. It's super useful, but for the average player, I think I would put him on low S. So we put it here. And that's the final?
I guess Kazana. I guess he could go to A since that with his ability to constantly boom jump all the time, he can do some nasty cuts or cross shots around the court, and he could do some mind games with enemies. So yeah, I think that's why he'll be a A.
Alright, so since the update just comes out, I did not finish the video editing this. We have come out to include the Hidari as well. So let me explain how Hidari works. Hidari just maximizes his power stats to rainbow like time skip Hinata and Oikawa when he hits his left hand on it. Since Wilson is not here, he's pretty busy. Lime, what do you think about it?
As Hidari, he's too broken since his spike is literally the same as TSH. But with Hidari, you can desync, which is like one of the most annoying thing you can face against if you're like in 100 ping. And his serve is literally same as TSO. It's almost impossible to wreck. So yeah, I think he should be in the SS tier since he's kind of broken and dominant in the rank.
Oh damn. I totally agree on what you said. On each, he's literally time skip Oikawa and time skip Hinata. Honestly, it's not that even hard to hit on the left hand. You just have to adjust. You just have to be a little bit more patient on positioning. And the fact that you don't have to walk way through or try to hit that reaction time on hitting the meter on time skip Oikawa, right?
Yeah.
Like it's impossible to receive all of this spike and serving if you have like 150 ping above. Bro, imagine you mix this Hidari with curve spiking or redirection. Oh my god, bro, this is really nuts. And even though you are in the middle part of the court, then you S-tilt, you're most likely gonna hit your ball when you spike it. The uniqueness of his spiking makes it even more broken, and I would actually put it on SS tier. I don't care if he has really slow, or what matters is how he is the best offense type or attacker type of style among all of this. Double S. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Remember that these our current tier lists are just our own preferences. You may have different opinion on how you think about each style, so let me know on the comment section below what is your own tier list. I would happy to hear it about you. If you want us to do more of this, just hit that like and subscribe. As fellow Samurai says, to God be the glory.